Hi, kindergarten friends. This week's Mem Fox book is about a bandicoot. Have you ever heard of a bandicoot? There's a video game that has a character named Crash Bandicoot. I don't really know too much about that, or if maybe that game is way too old for you guys. I don't know. But a bandicoot is an Australian animal. Like Mem Fox's books, remember, are always set in Australia, so she always has animals that are true to that area of the world. And it's a little bit like, looks a little bit like a rat, but it's actually more related to a rabbit. And it is a marsupial, meaning it has a pocket like a kangaroo does that it keeps its babies in. So this book is called Hunwick's Egg. And of course, it is written by Mem Fox and illustrated by Pamela Loss. And there, that is our bandicoot on the front cover. So Hunwick's Egg, and I do really love these illustrations. I think they're beautiful. I'm going to shift myself up here so it's easier for you guys to see the pictures. Once upon a time, at the edge of a wide and dusty desert, there lived an old bandicoot. His name was Hunwick. How pretty that picture is. And he's very cute. The same picture as the cover. One morning, Hunwick sat up and sniffed the wind. Sniffing over here. A storm was on its way, and when it broke, what a storm it was! The world was tossed inside out and upside down. Look at the lightning and how rough the water is, and all these animals. These are all Australian kind of animals. In the evening, when the skies had cleared, there lay, close to Hunwick's burrow, a most curious egg. "You look lost," Hunwick said. Colors in this picture are so pretty. Hunwick called on his neighbors. "Whose egg might this be?" he asked. None of them knew. "I have never seen an egg so beautiful," said Emu. "It must come from far away," said Echidna. "It needs a home," said Cockatoo. All Australian animals. "Then I will give it one," said Hunwick, and he took the egg back to his burrow and bustled about, making things cozy. "You'll be safe with me," Hunwick said. His heart felt light. He was already fond of the egg and wondered what would happen when it hatched. Each evening before he went out to find food, Hunwick covered the egg with twigs. As he left, he smiled and said, "Now do behave while I'm away." And then he waved goodbye, although the egg never waved back. And since Hunwick is going out at night to get food, do you know what kind of animal that means he is? Nocturnal. So that means he sleeps during the day and is awake at night. So the egg never waved back, neither did it hatch. Hmm. One night, when the stars were coming out in twos and threes, Hunwick was brave enough to speak his mind. "I'm glad I found you," he said, not looking at the egg directly. The egg made no reply. Neither did it hatch. Still no hatching. Hunwick and the egg often sat side by side in the moonlight. Hunwick would tell stories from his past, exaggerating here or there from time to time. He also shared his troubles. The egg listened in respectful silence, but did not say a word. Neither did it hatch. Still no hatching. bedtime, Hunwick would hold the egg close. "We're together, you and I," he'd say, "and this is our home." The egg was a good friend to Hunwick. It listened well, and it was always there. But Hunwick's neighbors watched and worried and wondered. This is an echidna that we mentioned earlier in the book, has quills like a hedgehog or a porcupine does. "That egg," said Emu, "will it ever hatch?" "Not now," said Echidna. "Not ever," said Cockatoo. "Poor Hunwick," they said together. An emu, if you don't know, is kind of like an ostrich. It's a very, very big bird, and it does not fly. But Hunwick wasn't sad. He had guessed long before that the egg was not an egg at all, but a stone of perfect shape and size and color. "I don't mind," he said to himself. "I love it as it is." And he continued to love it with all his heart. It was his egg. It was his secret. And it remained his friend forever. The end. He didn't need it to be an egg. He didn't need it to hatch. He just liked having the company. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon.